My landlord locked the heat at 60 degrees Fahrenheit, so I cost him $1,500 in electricity. I woke up because my nose hurt. It wasn't a headache, and it wasn't a sinus infection. It was the physical sensation of the cartilage freezing. I took a breath, and the air that rushed into my lungs felt like I had just inhaled crushed glass. I blinked my eyes open, staring at the ceiling of my apartment, and saw a perfect, swirling cloud of white fog escape my lips. I wasn't camping. I wasn't sleeping in a car. I was in my luxury, one-bedroom apartment in Chicago, under a duvet, a wool blanket, and a weighted throw, and I was shivering so violently that the headboard was rattling against the wall. I reached a stiff, claw-like hand out from the warmth of the covers to grab my phone from the nightstand. The metal casing of the phone was so cold it actually stung my fingertips. I tapped the screen. 6:15 a.m. Outside temperature, -5 degrees Fahrenheit, -20 degrees Celsius. Wind chill, -22 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, I whispered, my voice cracking. Okay, that's outside. Inside has to be better. I rolled out of bed, immediately regretting the decision as the cold air slapped my skin. I shoved my feet into fleece-lined slippers and shuffled out to the hallway, wrapping my robe tight enough to cut off circulation. I approached the thermostat, a sleek, white circle mounted on the wall. That Nest thermostat. The landlord, Mr. Henderson, had installed it 3 months ago, bragging about how it was the future of energy efficiency. I tapped the display. It lit up with a cheerful orange glow that felt mocking. Current temperature, 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Target temperature, 60 degrees Fahrenheit. 58. It was 58 degrees inside my home. I twisted the dial, trying to crank it up to a humane 72. The number spun, but then the screen flashed red. Pin required. I froze. Not just from the cold, but from the sudden realization of what was happening. I tried 0000. Incorrect. I tried 1234. Incorrect. The heat kicked on for a second, groaned, and then shut off because the ambient temperature was technically close enough to the target of 60. I felt the heat rising in my neck, a burning contrast to the ice in my toes. I grabbed my phone and dialed Henderson. Straight to voicemail. I dialed again. Voicemail. I opened my text messages. My thumbs were moving slow, stiff from the chill. Me, Henderson, the heat is locked at 60. It's 5 below zero outside. The apartment is freezing. I can see my breath in the kitchen. Unlock it. I stared at the bubbles, waiting. I paced the kitchen, opening the fridge just to feel the warm light of the bulb, which was ironically warmer than the air in the room. 5 minutes passed. The phone buzzed. Henderson, morning. Gas rates hiked 20% this month. We all have to tighten our belts. 60 is livable. Utilities are included, not unlimited. Put on a sweater. I stared at the screen. I read it 3 times. Put on a sweater. I looked down at my outfit. I was wearing thermal pajamas, a robe, and wool socks. I was already wearing the sweater. Me, this is illegal. You have to provide adequate heat. Henderson, legal requirement in the city is 66 during the day and 60 at night. It's 6:30 a.m. It's night. Check the bylaws. And don't think about plugging in a space heater. Lease section 14B explicitly forbids high wattage resistance heating elements due to fire risk. I have alerts on the panel. If I see a spike consistent with a heater, I evict. Stay warm. I threw the phone. It hit the couch cushions with a dull thud. He was right. I knew the lease. I remembered signing it. Section 14B, strictly no space heaters, kerosene heaters, or electric blankets due to older wiring and fire hazards. He had me boxed in. He held the digital key to the furnace, and he was sitting in his own house, which I guarantee was set to a cozy 75 degrees, sipping coffee while I turned into a popsicle. What you have to understand is that what I was about to do wasn't just petty revenge, it was a physics experiment fueled by pure spite. You see, a space heater works by passing electricity through a resistor to create heat. A computer works by passing electricity through a processor to do math, which creates heat. Thermodynamics doesn't care if you're warming a coil or calculating the billionth digit of pi, energy in equals heat out. The only difference is that one is banned by my lease, and the other is just working from home. By the time the sun went down, I wasn't going to be living in an apartment anymore. I was going to be living inside the intake valve of a jet engine, and Henderson was going to pay for every single glorious kilowatt. Click here to watch full video.